Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Market Minute. My mission is to help you better understand the latest trends in the U.S. real estate market and share with you my analysis and industry expertise. I want to help you gain an advantage and feel confident whenever you're buying and selling real estate. I'm your host, Mark Salib. I'm a passionate real estate professional, advisor, and investor, and I love what I do. Follow and DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group. Send me an email, mark@thesalibgroup.com. And as always, thank you for tuning in to today's show. How many of you have looked around lately and noticed there are many more homes for sale than there were just a year ago and even 2 or 3 years ago? Now, maybe you're a buyer, you're seeing more choices out there. You're a realtor, noticing a lot more listings active on the market. Maybe you're an investor, wondering why transaction volume is still, relatively there, but still a little bit sluggish. But we see inventory rising. So shouldn't home sales be moving and recovering too? But yet pending home sales don't appear to be that much higher than they used to be. According to a brand new report, this is from the National Association of Realtors, the NAR, in combination with Realtor.com. The answer is interesting, and it's really no. There aren't pending home sales rising, despite more and more inventory coming on the market. And the reason might be one of the most important housing concepts that are going on right now. Because it's not just about inventory anymore. The issue is whether that inventory is actually affordable to the people who are trying to buy it. The report is about the housing mismatch. It's called The Housing Mismatch: Why Home Sales Remain Sluggish Despite More Inventory. And the NAR and Realtor.com created something quite interesting here. It's called a listing income alignment score. Basically, they wanted to measure, do the homes currently listed for sale on the market actually match what local households can afford? Because their point is having more inventory doesn't automatically mean buyers can buy it. The report argues that many markets have inventory growth concentrated at higher price points, while lower and middle income buyers still have very few options. That means inventory can keep going up, but pending home sales or transactions can stay weak. And that's kind of what we've been seeing in this market. All right. So what is this alignment score they're referring to? Well, nationally, the alignment score in 2019 was 84.4%, which is high, which is a higher number, which means it's pretty good. It's good. It means that the inventory that's out there is relatively affordable. The alignment score in March of 2025 was 66.7%, and the alignment score in March of 2026 was 74.9%. Now, notice both those numbers are much lower than the 2019 number. But what is also interesting is that 2026 has improved quite significantly from 2025, and it's creeping ever closer to that 2019 number, but still below it. So what does that mean? Right now, the report says households today only have access to about 75% of the housing market that they would have. In other words, they can only afford that much. Now, that's a national number. It's huge insight because it's telling you that there are buyers out there that want to buy, but they can't afford to do it. But things are improving from just last year. Now, the biggest affordability problem, if you look closely at this report, is specific to the middle class. And this was a really interesting section in the report. Now, what the report found was that was where the biggest shortage was. So luxury buyers were fine. It's the middle income households that struggled. So in other words, if a household earning approximately $75,000 per year, well, that means they can afford a home worth $261,000. But here's the problem. Homes within that affordability range account for only 23% of the listings that are out there. A better and more balanced market would have about 44% of those listings available. So again, this is a great example of, sure, I'd love to buy, but I can't. right? Because I can't afford it. Now, this is also another reason why first-time home buyers are struggling. Remember, first-time home buyers tend to be entry-level buyers, tend to be younger buyers. Could be a lot of what we're seeing with Gen Z, maybe a little bit of the millennials. And they're looking at it like, okay, great, more inventory, but I can't afford it. Now, the report was interesting. This part was really fascinating. It aligned metros in America. So let's get more granular here because we talked about national numbers. But these were the top markets. Basically, these top 5 markets were the ones where income matched affordability quite well. Number 1 was Toledo, Ohio, followed by St. Louis, Missouri, followed by Akron, Ohio. Then it was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then Detroit, Michigan. Now, these markets are essentially telling you we've got inventory and it actually matches the local income in the very town that the inventory is in. And that's why transaction activity is pretty healthy. And what do you notice? Mostly the Midwest, right? A little bit of the Northeast, but mostly, Pittsburgh is really Western Pennsylvania more so. This is really heavy Midwest, right? Ohio, St. Louis, and Detroit, Pittsburgh. Now, if you've been listening to a lot of these episodes lately, we've been saying repeatedly that the Midwest of the United States is outperforming, in fact, many of the other markets within the country from an affordability standpoint. Those numbers are very clear. The housing affordability index indicates that as well. Now, where were the least affordable metros? All right, let's look at the other side of the coin. So, bottom 5. Number 1, the least affordable metro in the United States, based on this report, was Los Angeles, California, followed by San Diego, followed by Oxnard, California, followed by Providence, Rhode Island, and then Boise, Idaho rounds out the bottom 5. The Los Angeles example is pretty incredible. The report, get this, the report says that a median income household in LA can access fewer than 1 in 10 listings. That is incredible. That's basically saying, look, if your median income in Los Angeles, good luck. It's not happening. You can't afford anything. So LA is really reserved for, let's call it the luxury market or the wealthy, at least those folks, that are above the median income. And so, it's a great example, right? Inventory can increase all day long there. But if it's not affordable, transactions won't follow. All right. Now, this is what we've been saying for months. This frozen housing market. Why can't... we've seen a slight tick up in pending home sales. But why doesn't transaction volume really move and really start to break out? Why are pending home sales improving like just very, very little? But with all this inventory, you'd think, come on, let's go. Well, again, this is the report that tells you why. Many buyers simply cannot find enough homes within their budget. So inventory growth is not the story. Don't get fooled every time you see, great, more inventory. Well, it doesn't matter. The inventory has to be at the right price point where the folks that live there in those towns where there's inventory can afford it. All right, I like this report a lot because it explains something that I think we've been trying to figure out. And you can have a market that has rising inventory, improving affordability, lower rates, and all that stuff, but still transaction volume remain weak. All right, so the biggest takeaway from the NAR's housing mismatch report is simple. More inventory does not automatically mean more home sales. What matters is whether that inventory is affordable to the buyers who are actually in that market. And right now, especially for middle-income Americans, that's still the biggest challenge facing the housing market in 2026. I think this is one of the strongest data-driven ideas going on right now in the housing market. Ties kind of everything together and really puts it in perspective. And I think it's exactly why the housing market still has that feeling of being really sluggish, especially when it comes to transactions, despite what appear to be improving conditions. That is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. And as always, if you have questions or need specific advice, ideas, or just some help regarding your particular real estate needs or situation, or if you're just looking to buy or sell real estate in Florida, well then DM me on Instagram at The Salib Group, or just send me an email to mark@thesalibgroup.com. Don't forget to leave a rating for the show, follow, subscribe, help others find the show, and be informed and educated about the real estate market just like you. Until next time. Before we end today's show, stop what you're doing and subscribe right now to Real Estate Market Minute Plus. Listen to all episodes ad-free, get exclusive bonus episodes and content, and help support the show's growth, longevity, and future improvements. Go to realestatemarketminute.supercast.com right now. You can also find the link in this episode's show description. Check it out. I know you'll love it.